Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the beginning of the last days. We are so excited to be with you. Usually I open my dad's Bible before I actually have you here. You know that he passed away about a year and a bit ago, and every day I love to just open his Bible and see what he thought was important. So, I've opened up, First Peter, and I've got any number of verses that I could give you. But how about this one? 1 Peter 1, verse 13. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. Wow. As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lusts in your ignorance. Yeah, lust is ignorance. As we're seeing, we've got our Toronto mayor over there that is having to step down because of his affair. And, you get yourself in all kinds of trouble when you start believing all your press that you're just so great. And then somebody cozies up to you and a Delilah comes in and all of a sudden you've lost your career. It should be a lesson to all of us. I just want to do the quick share of Rebecca. I want you to make sure you put aside, it's coming up in a couple of weeks. We have a star-ridden cast of many, not myself, I'm not even speaking of myself, but many tremendous women that are going to be showing up at this conference, and that all the details are there. You can go to my website, Laura-Lynn.tv, to get all those details. I do not want to waste any time today. We have a lot going on, but I want my good friend Clay Clark to come on the show. This is a man I admire. You know well that I have gone down to several of the ReAwaken conferences that go on in the United States of America, and they are rattling and shaking because mainstream media has not done their job. But where mainstream media fails to bring the truth, Clay Clark and the ReAwaken tours are bringing the truth to the American people. So welcome to Clay, and also your wonderful, compatriot there, Aaron. Welcome to the show. Yeah. How are you guys doing?
We are doing great. I just want to clarify a couple things. One, this Aaron Antis over here, he runs one of Oklahoma's largest home building companies called ShawHomes.com. And Aaron assists quite a bit behind the scenes at the ReAwaken America tour, organizing speakers. And one way that we keep ourselves, Aaron, from reading our own headlines and getting puffed up is all of the headlines written about us are negative.
They're all negative.
And then therefore, instead of attracting these Jezebelian women, right?
No.
Pretty much burly, depressed
nobody wants
libertarians reach out to us, and that's kind of our group. So the temptation isn't there. So we do read our own headlines, and every morning I wake up going, man, I'm feeling good about myself. Read it, and then I go,
and you're like,
oh no,
it's not going to be.
And then I say, why is that guy here? And they say he's here to tempt you. He's depressed. So that's what goes on. There it is.
That is so funny. That is awesome. Well, listen, we think the world of you, and we just thank you for putting out the truth all the time. You often have the general there, right? General Flynn is at your conferences.
Yeah.
You have the Trump brothers. They come and say a few words. You've got, the doctors.
Let's do this today. There's three things I wanted to communicate to your audience, and it'll be very helpful. Okay, in America, most people know that President Donald J. Trump is the best hope that we have to save the republic. I think
That's
most
true.
people we agree on that.
Most people agree with
Okay,
that.
so the vast majority of Americans have put their hope in God. But I just want to be very clear about the org chart today. Aaron and I, and I'll speak for myself, and I'll let Aaron one up me. We put our faith in God.
Amen.
And then we believe that President Trump was chosen for such a time as this to lead the people who fear God. Yeah. And then the people that are around Trump, that everybody out there should write down their names. These are the people you can actually trust that are around President Trump that I know of right now. Yeah. Eric Trump, he serves as sort of the president, the head, the manager, the leader of the Trump businesses. You have Devin Nunes, who runs Truth Social. You have Dan Bongino, who continues to share the truth on the mainstream media. You have Don Jr. that continues to share the truth on the independent media. You have Boris, President Trump's attorney. You have General Flynn that still serves, in my opinion, as sort of like the President Trump's most trusted ally from the military community. You have these people that are close to President Trump. You have Kash Patel right there with Trump. You have Mike Lindell, who sort of serves as his connection to the business community. So that's really the people that are around Trump. There's a few more names there, but I think that one thing that has benefited President Trump is as he's wasn't reelected or wasn't allowed to be reelected, he's been able to see who's on his team and who isn't. And I think that that's been a powerful thing the ReAwaken America tour has done is exposed President Trump to people he can trust?
I think that's true.
I mean, Aaron, don't you think it's a big thing that the connections behind the stage that are made are just powerful?
I think not only the connections behind the stage that are made between so many of our speakers, there were all these like silos that were all kind of by themselves, storing different bits of information, and now they're starting to mix together, whether it's the medical fraud or the mainstream media fraud or the monetary fraud and all these things that are going on. And then we're just working on getting people back to God. But the other thing that happens is the people who come and attend the ReAwaken America tour, I mean, we really know that our only hope is in God.
Right.
And so when you get together with like-minded patriots and believers, it's amazing what happens, that synergy that happens, and you start to realize, hey, I need to step out in faith and do my part in my community, because it's, that local action that has a national impact.
Also, a quick note here, Peter Navarro, very trusted ally of President Trump, and General Flynn as well. So again, that's what we're doing at the ReAwaken America tours. We're bringing together Trump's closest relationships, his friends, his colleagues, and we're allowing them to come on stage and share what's going on. And we're sharing the truth about election fraud, medical fraud, religious fraud, monetary fraud, mainstream media fraud, and we're pointing people back to God. That's what the ReAwaken America tour is all about.
And it's absolutely amazing. I mean, if you haven't seen one, you need to get there. Of course, Canadians are not allowed down there right now, but I have a large following in the United States of America, so that's fine. But, I like, when is your next couple that you have slated?
Well, we have May at Trump Doral. So Trump Doral is President Trump's resort in Miami, Florida. It's a golf course there. It's called Trump Doral. It's in Miami, Florida. That's in May. And then we are going to Las Vegas Trump International Hotel in August. And so we have August and we have May. And these events will have a very obvious reverse Davos theme to them. At the World Economic Forum, only the self-proclaimed elites gather in the snow-capped mountains to talk about reducing our carbon footprint. We are actually going out of our way to incentivize the increasing of one's carbon footprint. As an example, at either the event in Doral or in Las Vegas, if you leave your car on for the duration of the event, you're entered in for a chance to win a backstage pass.
And then we'll take you backstage.
True story.
Bring your helicopter or fly your private jet right in nearby.
Also, we have two lines, one line for men, one line for women when you register. Also, if you can supply proof of non-vaccination, that certainly changes
Even
the conversation.
better.
We might just upgrade you to a VIP. So there's a lot of great stuff going on there. So we just encourage everybody out there. I'm not kidding. If you go to timetofreeamerica.com, you can learn more about these events. And we always make the events where you can name your price. This is not a sustainable financial model. This is called saving our country versus Marxism. And so what you want to do, if you want to attend our events, you just go to timetofreeamerica.com. I don't know how much you want to pay for a ticket. I can tell you, I'd love it if you'd pay $250, but you can name your price. And the only event where we've had to set a hard floor on the least amount we can charge is the Doral event, because since President Trump declared he is running for office, running for presidency of the United States of America in 2024, we're now at a different heightened level of security. Also, the Trump Doral event is a smaller venue where we can only get about 3,200 patriots there, where some of our typical events are 5,000 to 7,000 people. So anyway, I encourage people, if you want to get that event for Trump Doral in Miami, there's 70 plus speakers, but the least amount you can pay for a ticket is $175 per ticket for that particular event. But in Las Vegas, you can name your price.
That is absolutely fantastic. Everybody needs to get there. So we are talking about this digital currency, Clay. We got a big problem with it going on up here. They're trying to force us to tell if we're vaccinated or not vaccinated in order to be on a digital ID that they're trying to put out. And digital currency, we believe, will be related to that, because they're going to know, they're going to track and trace you. So what are you seeing happening?
Well, what's happening right now is everybody out there listening to my voice, I want everyone to take a second and take notes, because I want everyone to be able to have a conversation that extends beyond what I'm just saying to you. So I want everyone to write down MIT Cbdcs. Now, Aaron Antis, if everybody writes down MIT Cbdcs, or we do a Google search for MIT Cbdcs, we will discover that MIT is proudly celebrating the creation of the Cbdcs.
Yes,
is that concerning for you?
I think it's very concerning, especially when you look at where their funding comes from.
Epstein and Gates.
It happens to come from Epstein and Gates, and who became really good friends after it was announced that Epstein was like the most prolific pedophile ever. Then they became buddies.
So thing number one to look up, type in MIT Cbdcs, and you'll see the research that helped this technology with the funding of Epstein and Gates. Second, Type in MIT, Epstein, and Gates, and you will see that Epstein and Gates funded MIT, as Aaron said previously. Third, if you type in MIT quantum dot, quantum dot, you'll see that MIT's developed technology where they can see under your skin your financial and medical records. It's called a quantum dot. 4, do a Google search for quant CBDCs. Quant. Quant is the name of the technology, company. The company that was founded by Gilbert Verdian that, quote unquote, is working with Wall Street to implement the central bank digital currencies. The technology is called the quant CBDCs because, Aaron, if they called it the quantum dot CBDCs, that would have been obvious.
That would have been too obvious.
We would have seen it.
We probably would have known.
We would have seen it. We would have caught it.
The fact that they just released a new movie called Quantum Mania by Disney, that's probably just a coincidence.
And the fact that Google just rolled out a computer that they're saying has quantum supremacy that now powers CERN, which has a 666 logo. And CERN is located on top of the former Temple of Apollo. That's Revelation 9:11. CERN is located on top of the former Temple of Apollo. That's Revelation 9:11. And the supercomputer that powers CERN is called the quantum computer. And this computer, the IBM Summit computer for quantum supremacy. And the Earth is now covered with 30,000 low orbit satellites to cover the Earth in 5G, aka the pentagram, because 5 is penta, G is gram. And the technology inside the shots just happens to connect humans to 5G towers. That's why when the lockdowns happened, the 5G went up. During the lockdowns, 5G towers went up. They're trying to create a digital control grid surveillance under the skin. That's what they're trying to do. And because this is a longer conversation on kind of a short format interview today, and I appreciate you squeezing us in with our crazy schedule, but if you go to timetofreeamerica.com, I've created a button there. This is CBDCs. You click on the CBDCs button and all the patents, all the technology, all the articles, all the funding, it's all right there, the CBDCs. If you want to read about the nefarious executive order that Joe Biden signed to make it possible for the CBDCs to be introduced, that's called 14067.
Oh, yeah.
And if you want to learn about that's Executive Order 14067.
It's a great read. It's really fun.
It's a blasty blast if you don't like freedom.
Awesome.
And you can read more about it at timetofreeamerica.com. And then the third is there's a button there at timetofreeamerica.com called BRICS, because Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they're all teaming up to introduce a new gold-backed central bank digital currency based in Shanghai, which is why the Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau was hanging out with Klaus Schwab and Rishi Sunak at the G20 event. They're all introducing the central bank digital currencies based in Shanghai. The BRICS Bank is called the New Development Bank. And Saudi Arabia just declared they're ending the petrodollar by joining up with Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
You mean I can't buy oil anymore with the U.S. dollar?
Venezuela.
So now I'm
Turkey.
going to use gold?
Iran. Everybody is teaming up with the BRICS nations.
Probably a coincidence.
Probably just two incidents at the same time. Probably not related.
Which would be a co-incident.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
true.
you're a sick freak conspiracy theorist, and that's why we only give you between 15 and 30 minutes of mic time at every event to declare who's parking illegally. Aaron is a great guy, very positive, and what we've done is I asked Aaron, I said, could you be the bearer of bad news? Because it switches. If I'm the MC and I get up there and tell you that your car is parked illegally, the dynamic shifts where people go, we don't even like you, MC. Boo. So I bring up Aaron, bearer of bad news. He only announces bad things at the events.
It's kind of like being a dartboard.
He is. That's what he does. It's great.
Similar.
He gets a lot of fan mail.
Not really.
Oh, I love it. And I love both of you. Thank you so much. And, humor helps. Clay, were you always funny or just when the apocalypse hit?
Well, let me explain this to people. I grew up, I stuttered a lot as a kid. A lot. I couldn't talk really well until probably 12, 13 years old. And so I spent most of my youth that I remember and specifically trying to be by myself because interacting with other people wasn't positive. And that worldview has continued up until the age of 42. So for 30 more years, I've had that mindset because I find that in my life, again, when you stutter a lot, you observe people. You don't necessarily, because people, when you try talking, they make fun of you.
Yeah.
And then when I became successful in business or had the desire to grow a business, when you employ people, turns out most like their boss. And then now as a consultant, it's interesting, but people pay me to help them grow their business. And sometimes I have to be the bearer of bad news. And I say sometimes, every time. So I've discovered that the truth is the truth. And sometimes the only way to deliver the truth is with a little bit of humor. Well, so a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. If you're going to share the truth, you better be funny. And so I've kind of had to learn that as an entertainer, starting about the age of 16, that if you're going to share the truth, you have to be funny. And
well, Clay, if you go into Revelation 13, 13, 16 through 18, or
That's
Matthew
not funny. That's not a
chapter
funny part of the Bible,
24.
Aaron.
You go read those parts of the Bible, and then you're like, is this a press clipping from this morning's news that's saying that, like, if I don't get this shot with this programmable digital currency under the skin, then I'm not going to be able to buy or sell anymore?
But Aaron, it's only concerning if you know about it or know about it or have a functioning mind.
Well, you got to start.
If you don't know, it's
laughing
no
at
big
things
deal.
because you're like, well, we're literally reading about all this stuff in Revelation, and it is literally happening in the headlines right now. I mean, what you have going on in Canada right now, you can read that in the book of Revelation.
It's right there.
It's wild.
I know. We're leading the way in the apocalypse. We're really proud of that. So it'll bring the return of the Lord much faster because of our Prime Minister.
Oh, don't you know? Hey, by the way, can we do a swap where you give us Justin Bieber and we'll give you Biden? Can we do that as some sort of swap?
It's a good trade.
All right.
No, can do. Think of someone else. We might want. We will.
We
You
don't
know
want
what?
you,
You
though.
take our Prime Minister.
No. You keep him.
No.
We'll give you Biden. We want your Bieber. We'll take the
We just
Bieber.
don't want Biden. We just don't want him. I don't know what to do.
Okay.
It's not a good deal. It's not a good deal. I can't consent to that. But hey, listen, I know you got another interview because this is what you do. You just do nonstop interviews. You're so
crazy,
amazing.
yeah.
I love you guys. I wish we had you for longer. So we'll let you go. Thank you very much. I want to see you in Miami. I do pray to be able to do that. Thank you for highlighting what's happening to us in Canada. Clay, you've done some really good things to highlight Canadians, especially Canadians that come down to be there. I love seeing you when I'm there. Thank you for all you're doing, and God bless you. Stay strong, and may the enemy's assaults against you turn back on its heels against themselves. May they fall into their own net, and may you be safe. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Clay.
I'm going to meet you at the border there, the Detroit-Windsor border, I think,
That's a
and
good
to
one.
arrange our swap of Biden for Bieber. That's what I want to do. Thank you so much. Take
It's
care.
not a deal. It's not a deal.
We're
Okay.
going to do it.
See you
We
soon.
agreed. Okay, I feel like we agreed. Thanks.
No. No, it's not a deal. It's not a deal. Thank you so much. Do you see why you got to get down to one of these ReAwaken America events? First of all, I mean, Clay is hysterical. Aaron will be giving the bad news, but who else do you get? Oh my gosh, they book like 70 people, 70 top name presenters that present over a period of 2 days, and it's something you just don't want to miss. So that is fantastic. I miss Clay already. Oh well. All right. We have a whole lot of things that we have to get to for Canadian problems. Do we have problems here? Yes, actually, we do. But we definitely would not want Biden. Absolutely not. So we've got a problem. I don't know. Okay, let me ask you guys. Would Biden be better than Trudeau? Like, if we had to, because Biden's, not functional. Well, the problem is they are all owned and controlled as puppets by the higher ups, right? So even if we got Biden here, he'd be saying stuff that they're telling him to stay, on the little cue cards that he has, right? So, things that are going on in the United States of America are kind of interested. Like this Asbury University in Kentucky is having this so-called revival, they're saying, and it's pretty cool. We've got some B-roll going on there. Absolutely phenomenal. So apparently what happened is they got together, to have sort of a service like was going on. Can we listen to that? Can we make it louder? So they've had to open up separate rooms to accommodate all the people that are now flooding to Asbury, Kentucky. They've opened a third chapel now, and it's like it's going nonstop. And it's a very calm, beautiful thing that's happening. Jesus, they say the power of the Holy Spirit is so strong. And he's showing up in just a beautiful, gentle manner. And a lot of people now checking it out to go see. It's kind of like the storm chasers, they go check out what's happening, where the revivals are in the world. And, you can always have a little bit of skepticism in your heart about what's the truth, about the reality of it all. But I sure hope it's real. I really do. I was telling a reporter this morning who wanted to do a broadcast that basically I turned down, and I just didn't think it was the right topic or whatever. But I was telling him about the most powerful moment that I experienced in the Freedom Convoy 2022. And it was when everybody came back from the 7th March around Parliament in one day. Prior to that day, for 6 days, these amazing freedom lovers had marched around the Parliament. You know, drawing from the biblical story of the walls of Jericho coming down. And that was, I don't know how to describe it, all at once, you couldn't talk because it was too loud. The beautiful truckers and their horns, the shofar horns of the truckers just began. And everybody just worshiped. I mean, some people fell to their knees. Some people put their hands up. There was tears coming down people's faces. There was many people with shofar horns there, and they were, playing their instruments. Something phenomenal happened that, I don't know, very few people were there really, when you think of the percentage, 0.00000, 1% of people were there, and it was a phenomenal moment, and we felt God. The other times I can say that I've really felt God in this last 2 years is the freedom worship movements where the churches had shut down and we took to the streets downtown Vancouver and we worshiped God. We set up the band and, God just put it on my heart to not be silent. If we continue to be silent, the rocks and the stones are going to cry out. So that's what I did. We held church when church was not happening. And some churches were meeting on their parking lots for sure. So many had just shut down. They failed. They failed the people of Canada by not, the word of God says, do not forsake the assembling together. And we were lied to about COVID. We were lied to about all this nonsense. I did nothing but spend my time being with everyone. Is there something, JT? Oh. We did nothing but, support people being invested in a powerful relationship with the Lord in order to get through everything that was happening. And so that was a fascinating thing. Now, do we have Kamala Harris speaking to this Asbury thing? Yeah, so, the vice president, always a pleasure to hear from her. She is weighing in, I guess, on what's happening. Let's
No exhaust, no diesel smell. The bus has Wi-Fi, and even USB outlets next to every seat. I mean, come on, imagine. You can charge your phone on your way home from work. That's good stuff.
Okay, that had nothing to do with Asbury, but is that the point you were trying to make? Okay, oh man, was Shane in on this? That's totally reaching. Okay, I get your point. Ha ha, funny ha ha. Yes. See, the thing is, Kamala Harris, and they pushed the ignition button. Yes, they did. Okay, she's hysterical. All right. I hope that you're not playing any more jokes on me, JT. It's Valentine's Day, everyone, and I woke up to this most beautiful gift that I didn't see. So I didn't think he got me anything this year because I don't even know, when did you pick that up? We haven't been out. We've been working and there's this gift sitting on the coffee table, which I didn't see. He was annoyed by that. And it said, that he loves me and big hearts and all of that. And it was so precious. So he did actually get me something and he said he could take it back and he has the receipt because I don't know why you'd think I'd ever return any of your gifts because they mean the world to me. But so that means that I'm behind the 8 ball. Oh, because my love and affection is what I've given him for Valentine's. And just to say that he is one of the most amazing men that I have ever been married to. And there's a story behind that. But anyways, I just want to say that Valentine's Day is a special day for all of us. You can be a Valentine to a friend today. And you can send a little Happy Valentine's on your text to someone, especially someone who might not have a particular Valentine. That would be nice to share that with them. I am so appreciative that I battle not alone. I battle with my husband in this journey. And when you support us, you're supporting our team. You're supporting my husband, who has to put up with a lot because of my big mouth. So we're never quite sure if we're in trouble at all. There's something else. So at the Super Bowl, did you hear about the Super Bowl? I saw some really inappropriate body moves by, is it Brianna? It was disgusting. I mean, there's no other way to put it, but she made my skin crawl, and she's a disgusting person to have done that. Disgusting. It was so gross. Literally pathetic. I just don't know what to say about a woman who acts like that. But on the good side, guess what? There was some amazing, they have the ads. It's always about the Super Bowl commercials. Well, this was one. Do we have it? Oh, they're just commenting on it? Okay. I did send you one that had a clip of it. Okay, go ahead.
The point is that people are so worried about what everyone else is doing that we're taking away everyone's voice. I love Jesus. I love football. I love the Super Bowl. Most of all, I love capitalism. And so if they are going to put money behind something like this in the Super Bowl, I think it's a great idea. Sad, very sad that our discussion comes back to we have to criticize each other's beliefs. Because at the end of the day, it's a Super Bowl commercial. Hopefully somebody takes away from it something that they can utilize in their life, or at least a little entertainment to talk about Monday in the office. But it's very sad that the conversation has come down to criticizing other people's beliefs instead of allowing us to have an open voice. And again, sadly, that comes right back to the Bible and to Jesus, and not being able to follow some of those basic moral concepts and principles that America was founded on.
Mm-hmm. And, Ocasio-Cortez basically, she totally criticized these beautiful ads. I'll try to get the ad. I thought that we had it somewhere, but they were beautiful. They were about Jesus has your back. He gets you, I think it was. He gets you. Jesus gets you. Whatever you're going through, Jesus gets you. To the entire world, Jesus gets you. And it was actually just super beautiful. And I'm thinking about the assault against Christianity right now. Really shocking and staggering to be so openly against that. I mean, I wonder if she criticized the Luciferian Grammys, right? The Luciferian, that whole display, women in cages, all dark red, with the guy with, the goat horns on his head. Was there criticism of demonic, satanic manifestation at the Grammys? Was there a criticism of that? Oh no. So if the Super Bowl purchases the time to put on these ads that highlight who Jesus is and how he gets you and he's with you, that's a problem. I mean, unbelievable. So was that the ones that kind of tied together sort of some of the spiritual stuff? Yeah. So I'd like to go into now something absolutely we have to pay a lot of attention to, and that is the Canadian vaccine inquiry that is happening now. Now, should we let go of YouTube at this point? I mean, this is all out there. They're really just questioning the purchases of the vaccines. I don't know what you think. We might have to say goodbye to you, YouTube. Please go over to our Rumble channel. Please go over to our Odyssey channel. Yeah, it's going to go into the chat line right now. It's another place that we go live. We're putting Rumble up later today, so you will be able to find us on Rumble if you've already done that and you've signed up and you're, subscribed to the Rumble channel. But JT has just put it into the chats. We're going to ask you to head over to Odyssey right now, because what we have is just, it's an atrocity against the people, really, the people of Canada and our taxpayer dollars, quite frankly.